Rocky Mountain Red Wing, I like it, says, what if he is an avoidant and you are an empath? Well, Rocky Mountain, I mean, it's one of those things where you need to first off question, like, I don't know what challenge you're having with him. My guess would be that he's kind of pulling away and you're kind of feeling things and you're kind of getting frustrated with the fact that he's pulling away or something like that. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things there, right? Like, first thing that I want to say is that you don't want to force anything. And so you shouldn't be forcing things. If you're an empath and you want somebody that is more on your level, you might want to wait out for somebody that's more on your level and don't just go for somebody just because you feel something for that person. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of women doing is they're like, oh, well, I feel it for this person. And so we have to make it work out. And if you want to, and you're both dedicated, like when two people are really committed to something and you're in a committed relationship, that's great. If you're not in a committed relationship and you're not both trying to make things work out, then you're kind of on opposite spectrums when it comes to things like your emotions and whatnot, then it can be really, really difficult to end up in a situation that you want to end up in. One of the reasons I talk so much about like dating in abundance and whatnot in that program is because when you're dating in abundance, then it's like you don't feel like this is your only option and this is the only person that you can go for and you have to make something work out with that person, right? You get to know a few different people over time and you get to see their consistencies, you get to see how they act in different situations, you get to see how they respond when there's problems or issues coming up, which if it's an avoidant means that they're kind of pulling away and going distant and all that kind of stuff. And whether you guys really have a compatibility there or not. And if you don't have a compatibility and you're dating in abundance, it's not a big deal because you can just be like, oh, well, I'm dating other people and maybe those other people will kind of step up. And then at some point you're with somebody and you're like, okay, let's do this, let's commit. And you both agree to it and you end up in a relationship and then magic can happen from that standpoint because then you can have a conversation and you can talk about things and you can have real conversations because you're in a relationship and you both agreed to be committed to it. But if you don't have that agreement of commitment, then you have to look at whether this is actually a situation that you want to be in. My suggestion is that you start dating in abundance and you make a decision based on that. I hope that makes sense.